going on, guys? So I wanted to do a quick video. I was out here testing a new sprocket setup I got going on, and figured I'd talk about some future plans, what I'm going to do with the channel. So I definitely want to get more China bikes. You know, all I have right now is 2 Lifan Xpects and a Kawasaki KLR. But I want to get another Lifan, I think. I'm just not too sure what. I'm really torn between the KP Mini and the KPR 200. My only problem with the KP Mini is it's a little small for me. I'm a small person, don't get me wrong, but it's, I mean, even for somebody as short as I am, it's still like really small. But it'd be a fun bike to learn stunts on and do wheelies and shit with it. So that's why I've been kind of considering that. And there's so many mods for the KP Minis, because, you know, I think it's got to be Lifan's most popular bike, I would imagine. So that's why I've been looking at the KP Mini. But the KPR, I honestly like the way it looks. Obviously it's not a fast bike, it's 200, but I'd like to see how quick I can get that thing to go. Because if I have like a, well, this goes for the KP Mini as well, but you know, if I have more Lifans, I'll probably consider getting some of these tuners that work with these Chinese bikes. You know, I don't want to spend $300 on just my Lifan Xpect, but if I have like a KPR or a KP Mini, you know, then I'd probably consider getting one of those, and then seeing like how hard I can really push the bikes. Because if I get a KPR, I push it real hard and it blows up, I would probably swap a 300 in there. I think that would be really cool. But you know, they do actually do relatively decent on the interstate. Obviously they're not amazing, but they're not terrible. I've seen people commute on them on the interstate, so I think the KPR is a little bit underappreciated. I mean, obviously I think all of these China bikes are, but I can pick them up on Facebook barely used for like $1,500, $2,000. I'd like to get a new one, but if I can save some money on a used like new, I mean, why not just go that route? I don't want to get anything with mods on it though. I want it to be stock, so you know, I could make videos on how to mod it and try various setups, you know, especially like exhaust, and mess around with the sprockets and see what I can figure out on that. So the thing is though, is that whichever one I get, the KP Mini or the KPR, I still plan on getting either or like afterwards. So like if I get a KPR, I still plan on getting a KP Mini later on. I just don't know what to get first. I'm really leaning towards the KPR, because really my goal is to collect like all the Lifans. Honestly, is just the KPR, KP Mini, the KPX. I really want the KPX. I think it's badass. I know a lot of people would probably think, well, why not just go and get like an older Enduro for the same price? But I like the novelty that it's Chinese. I don't know. I think it's neat. I mean, that's kind of like what my whole channel focuses around. I mean, yeah, I do like KLR 650 videos. I gotta have something like that I can 100% trust. I mean, I obviously really trust these Chinese bikes, but I mean, a KLR, you just can't beat it. I mean, they're above all on reliability, minus like a few small things. But so yeah, we're either going to be getting a KP Mini or a KPR, and then also eventually a KPX. So, and then we'll see what else Lifan comes out with in the future. I'm hoping that, you know, the demand for them in the States kind of picks up a little bit, and they feel the need to like add, you know, a more variety of bikes. I'm really not even quite sure what all they offer in other countries. I'm pretty much just aware of what we get. I think they have like some different like mopeds and stuff, but I'm not I'm not really that interested in mopeds. Yeah, I don't know. Eventually I'll figure it out, and then there'll be some videos on whatever I get. But chances are it's going to be the KPR. I mean, if anybody has ideas, let me know. I mean, in the comments, if there's a demand for the KP Mini, I'll get it, and I'll make 20, 30 videos on the thing, doing everything you can to it, all the mods, whatever. I definitely want to do a motor swap on my Xpect. Not this one, but my my other one that I have for off-road. Like I said, I think I might have stated this in previous videos, but I found a 300cc motor that'll literally bolt right in. I found engine diagrams for the stock Lifan motor, and then I found the engine diagram for this 300cc. All the engine mounts are in the exact same place, so like the spacing between them is the same. I compared the diagrams. It's the exact same size. It's an overhead valve, or overhead cam, so the valve cover sits a little higher, but I would imagine I can make it work. You know, it would be like $1,000. A lot of people might think, well, why would you do that? You know, you can just, then again, pick up a cheap Japanese enduro, and my argument will always be because it's Chinese, and that's kind of cool. And plus, it's I don't know, it's fun. It's fun to kind of build shit like that. I mean, if you have like a terrifying Chinese enduro that feels like it's going to snap in half whenever you hit the accelerator, I mean, that's, I don't know, I think that's kind of cool, but could just be me. I'm weird. I always take the weird route through things, so I don't know. The other thing I wanted to talk about is just why I love China bikes. I kind of don't understand it entirely, honestly, but I just don't have much interest in anything that's not Chinese. And there's also problems with China bikes too, which I'll get into. But my whole thing is that obviously the price is like the biggest thing. But I just love the practicality of them. I mean, they're affordable. They're very easy to ride. They get fantastic gas mileage, and you can do some cool stuff with them if you have enough creativity. I mean, I can only imagine, like, if I was actually good at welding and fabrication and all of that, I mean, some of the crazy shit I could pull off. There's just a cool novelty to it with how you get it, and it's a good conversation starter. I mean, a lot of people, they ask me about them. I probably talk their ear off. They get probably annoyed at some point, but like the way I look at Chinese bikes is it's kind of like buying a beater car. If you ever buy like $1,000 car just to beat on in the winter, there's like that sense of like freedom that you don't care. Like, you don't care if it breaks, because it's cheap to fix or cheap just to replace in general. I don't know, there's just no pressure like with it. Owning an expensive bike, it's like, I've owned some nice cars, and it just, there's a part of it that just gives you anxiety. You spend more time worrying about it than you do enjoying it. You park somewhere, I don't want somebody to scratch it, I don't want it to get dinged up, you don't want to drive it too much because you don't want to put wear and tear on it, and you don't want something to happen to it. You don't want to push it too hard because if it breaks, it's expensive to fix. And it just kind of gets exhausting, and I think it makes it lose its like glamour after a while. And I mean, of course, there are some people who can own like really nice things and not worry. I mean, there's guys who can drop $20,000 on a sport bike and beat the hell out of it, drop it, crash it, whatever, and they don't care. And that's great, but like, I'm not one of those people, and I don't really know a whole lot of people that are like that. Chinese bikes are a great gateway drug into riding. Because of the low stress with it, it's easier to learn. I've seen people spend quite a bit of money on their first bike, and it not only be too powerful for them, but expensive to fix. And so they're scared to ride it because they don't want to make a mistake, and then they got to pay all this money to fix it, or it's less approachable. If you want to get into riding but you don't really know what to get, like, you can order a Chinese bike offline, have it to your house in a week or two, and then ride it for a year and then get something else. or do what I do and get something else and then realize that you only care about Chinese bikes and then get addicted to it. Because, you know, I could have like one nice expensive bike, or I can have a bunch of Chinese bikes that can do, you know, that all have their special unique like thing they do. I just prefer it like that, to be honest. I'd rather have a KPR 200 to kind of zip around in, and, you know, use this one for like a comfortable commuter, and use my other one for when I want to hit up trails, and, you know, and then I have my KLR that can do a little bit of everything for, you know, whenever I need it. So I don't know, that's just my approach to it. You know, people don't all agree with it, but not everyone's going to agree with it, but I mean, it is what it is. Everybody has their own taste and things they prefer to do, but that's just how I am. So I'm going to pull over and take my camera off so I don't get water and the charging port. Alright, so that's all I got for you guys. I just wanted to share my thoughts on China bikes and just some plans I have for the future. As always, thanks for watching.